While I was researching though, I was getting heated. I was getting mad.
Why? Oh, is that bad?
Because yes. Hey guys, welcome back to another installment of
The Scary Station.
Just the Scary Station?
The Station!
That's what I thought. So, today's case, I hate it.
I don't know anything.
So last week we talked about the Austin yogurt shop murders, which by the way, everyone in my life that like watches and listens to our stuff, they like texted me, or like my coworkers, we were talking about it. Even ones born and raised in Austin, they're like, I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
No one's heard of this. No one that I know told me like, oh yeah, I know about that. Like no one knew.
Right.
No one knew what I was talking about. Like it really is a forgotten case.
Almost like it purposely were they, put it under the rug. Purposely. Oh, before we get into that though,
Yeah.
check out the merch, dude.
Oh yeah, we got season 3.
I got season 3 dropping. They already dropped.
Definitely check out the website. Everything's out, right?
Yeah.
Everything's out. Links are down below. I'll probably be putting up like photos and stuff like that so you guys can check it out.
Put the conspiracy one. Put the conspiracy one, Kat.
What conspiracy one?
This is conspiracy.
I'll put the conspiracy shirt too. So definitely check out merch. Links are down below. Also, they're on our Instagrams. They're like on like the little like link tree type thingy. So yeah, check that out. Season 3. I think you said that this is like be a break for a little bit.
Yeah, this is gonna be like maybe the final one for the year for sure.
Okay, order it now so you can get it by the time it's Christmas or Hanukkah, or I mean if you think about it, especially with Hanukkah, it's like 7-8 days, get 7-8 different shirts, and that's a present every day.
Oh shit, dude.
There you go.
There you go.
That's all you need. By the way, my dad ordered stuff.
I know. I saw. I didn't want to tell you because I was like, is he trying to surprise her or?
No,
So I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna say nothing.
No, he texted me. He was like, I love your guys' TV show. By the way, he says TV show. He was like, I love your guys' TV show. I ordered stuff. And I was like, what did you order? And I think he said like a hoodie or something like that.
Dude, thanks to your dad.
Yeah.
I talked to him.
So be a fan. Be like my dad. Buy your stuff. Support us.
Don't be the guy that doesn't buy anything.
Yeah, don't be the guy that doesn't buy anything or subscribe.
At least subscribe, right? Yeah. Tell your homeboys.
Like you can't just like be watching a whole episode and then like just not subscribe. Like who does that? Because I know y'all are here. We see everything.
We see you.
So we know you're here. So might as well just subscribe. It's completely free.
And the podcast too.
Yes.
Leave a review there if you can, if you're on the go.
Briefly, I mentioned this Kenneth McDuff. How he was kind of a suspect in a way. Like they just like looked at him and then I guess like he wasn't at the end or whatever. But I said like, oh, he's pretty fucked up and he needs a show within himself. So that's what we're doing today.
She did say that. You did say that.
Just that little bit I read. Like I read just like the tiniest little thing. And I was like, oh, this guy's already fucked up.
And you had no clue what you were getting
I had no clue what I was getting into.
I'm excited, yet I know it's going to be fucked up. So it's like, I'm not really excited, but I'm super excited.
Yeah. Your true crime in you is like, ee! But your humanity in you, you're like, oh. So I just want to say a trigger warning for everyone. Okay. We are talking about a lot of rape in this.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I just wanted to kind of lay that out now.
Let's do this. Let me get ready. Let's go.
Okay, so Kenneth McDuff. This would be a little bit different because I'm also going to talk a little bit about his younger life, almost like we did with Ed Gein. But this guy is just a piece of shit from the beginning. He's a spoiled little brat that I just like. So who was he? Who was this Kenneth McDuff? Obviously a serial killer, that's why we're talking about him. But his name, like, because you know how every serial killer like has their name or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So his like name was the Broomstick Murderer.
What the fuck? The Broomstick Murderer?
The Broomstick Murderer.
Did he kill with a broomstick?
Yes.
That's weird.
When I say like how it happened, you're just like, where the fuck did the broomstick even come from?
No, well, I mean, I have 3 of them.
No, but like, they weren't like in a house. I'll get into it.
Okay.
But you're just like, where the fuck did this I don't know. He was born March 21st, 1946 in Rosebud, Texas. I've never heard of Rosebud, Texas, to be honest with you.
I've heard of Rosebud.
I haven't. So that's where he's from.
I mean, I've heard of a Rosebud.
Oh my god. Whatever. Well, he's from the town.
Wait, what was it? Wisconsin?
Yeah. For who?
Rosebud?
No. This is Rosebud, Texas.
Rosebud? Oh, shit.
You really are mixing up with
yes.
Ed Gein.
Yes, because... Dude, Ed Gein's my boy.
Oh.
I don't condone what he did, but, you know.
Whatever. So he was the 5th kid of 6. He had 3 older sisters, a younger sister, and 1 older brother. Some sources say that his family was just weird. Like, not like in a... I don't know. Like, it's hard to describe. Like, it's not like they were doing weird things. Like, they were just kind of like they were just on like a weird bunch, I guess. The dad, they were actually also super wealthy too, because he started his own like concrete kind of company. The business boomed in the late 70s, early 80s. So, you know, they're pretty wealthy. Like, he was a very hard worker, and they try to teach their kids, like, you know, the value of hard work, the value of money, and all the other stuff, you know, because it's like self-made type. So they want their kids to be, you know, worthy. It said that his dad was very business minded though, so he was pretty, like, you know, quiet around the house. He kind of left like the kids and housework to the wife. He just, you know, worked basically. Now his mom, she was said to, you know, be a little rough around the edges sometimes. Her nickname that the town gave her basically was Pistol Packin' Mama.
Oh, I like that.
Because
she packed the pistol.
Yes, her older son was kicked off the school bus, I guess, for like fighting or something. So the mom threatened the bus driver with a gun for kicking him off, being like, "I'm gonna kill you for kicking my son off the bus."
Just like any good old Texan.
And so basically after that, like, teachers, everyone was terrified of this woman. It said that their parents were very protective, dedicated to their kids, you know, like I said, making sure they just understood the value of hard work and all that stuff. It said that his mom and his older sisters just loved him. Loves Kenneth. They doted on everything he said. He was like the apple of their eyes. Like, even like his sisters. It wasn't just his mom, you know. But he had a younger sister.
Is this like a good love or a bad love?
I mean, I guess it's good because they truly, even with all the stuff going on, they like loved him unconditionally. But at the same time, with all the stuff he was doing, he was never held accountable because they were just like, no, he would never do this.
Okay.
So that's why it's like, you know, I guess like double-edged sword in a way.
And I don't think that's love.
I don't know, because that's the thing. It wasn't just his mom. It was his sisters too. So that's why it's just like, it is a little weird, but at the same time, we're just like, it's not like just the mom. That's why I'm like, the fuck. Well, this kid, obviously, he's a little shit in school. He was known to always have money on him, like cash, always wearing the newest things. But because he was so spoiled, didn't really ever get held accountable, he was a bully. He was a bigger kid, not like bigger, he was a bigger kid, but not like the biggest. So he would just kind of like pick on just the weaker kids and kind of like assert his dominance until one day he challenged the popular guy in school.
Oh shit.
It said that he wasn't like as big as Kenneth, but he was athletic. He was an athlete. He was popular, well loved. Everyone hated Kenneth in school. Nobody liked him. So when they heard that this fight was happening, they're like, "Hey, yo, fight at third period, let's go." Like, everyone went to go see this fight. He lost. The kid that he fought, his name was Tommy Salmon? Not Salmon. I know it's not Salmon.
Salmon.
No. Tommy put him in a headlock and Kenneth just bit him. Basically, like, I was like, let me go. So he lost, and a couple months after that, he dropped out of school. He was just so embarrassed. He dropped out of school.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be embarrassed too.
And he's only a freshman at this point. He'd already dropped out of school. He would confide in his older brother a lot, so he kind of told him, like, oh, no one understands me. No one treats me right. They just don't get it. Everyone's so mean. Everyone else was giving him advice, like, you know, like good advice.
Right.
Like, you know, just be kind to people. what you give out in the world, you kind of give back, or what you give to the world, you get back. I mean,
karma.
His brother basically told him, like, fuck him. And he was like, do you know what? You're right. Fuck him. That's the advice he took. So depending on where, I will say from now on, depending on where you read it from, everyone's ages, like, kind of vary, like, a year or two. Mm-hmm. So he's about, like, 17, 18 at this point. He tells his brother, like, he confides in his brother that, you know, because he's also working at his dad's company, and so he has money, he like has a car, and so one day he was just like out and about driving, looking for drugs.
What kind of car did he drive?
I don't know, but at one point when the Broomstick Murders happened, he had a Dodge Charger.
Of course, yeah. Everybody thinks that the SRT Hellcat is a cool cat now. That's a cool car.
And it's not?
Because of that song that came out. Hellcat is an SRT.
Okay, yeah. Nah.
Everybody thinks that that's a it's not. It's not. It's a badass car. It's not like.
But it's not the car?
No.
Well, you have to remember, this was like back then though. So it was probably like a badass car.
63. Yeah, I guess that's the prime of the American muscles.
Around this time, he was also starting to do a lot of burglaries.
Ooh.
So even though he had like all the money that he could possibly want, he was still just like robbing people.
It was just for the fun of it, right?
It was just for the thrill. I think, honestly, like, he just was just bored, probably, and was just like, fuck it. So he was driving, you know, in his car.
Vroom, vroom.
He was looking for drugs and sex, looking for those prostitutes. Or, sorry, no, sex workers.
What's the difference?
Because, I mean, not all, like, girls that are prostitutes are bad people, so it's just sex work.
Wait, so
it's just more of, like, a better term for it.
Oh, come on.
No.
Like, what's a prostitute and what's a sex worker?
So sex worker is a sex worker in general. Like, you know, strippers, girls that, like, you know, OnlyFans and all the other stuff. Just anything revolving around sex.
That's not sex, is it? Like,
no, but a sex worker, though. It's like it's still sexualized.
Oh, I thought it was like actual sex.
No. It's just kind of like an easier term. More generalized, okay. More like not as harsh. That's why
I learned that today. I had no clue.
No.
Okay, so then he was looking for what? Prostitutes.
Basically, yeah. He was looking for some fun here. So we don't really know exactly what happened, but apparently he again confided in his older brother. Mm-hmm. He was like, "Dude, I fucked up," and his brother's like,
"What'd you do?"
And he said, "Well, I raped this girl."
Oh, shit.
Slit her throat and left her in a ditch.
That's not fucking up, dude.
And do you know what his brother did?
Yeah. No, I don't.
Go sleep it off. It's fine. We'll talk about this tomorrow.
Never reported it.
But that's not a fuck up.
It's like, no, you didn't fuck up. Fucking up is like, dude, I crashed the car.
Right. Putting salt in your coffee, that's a fuck up. That's some other shit. How old was this girl?
We have no idea. I couldn't find anything like on how old she was. But he was around like 17, 18 years old.
Oh, that's right. He was 17 years old.
17, yeah.
Holy fuck, dude.
So at 17, at 17, I was...
What was Kat doing at 17?
I graduated from high school.
At 17?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you were smart as fuck, dude.
No, because I started schools in California. So with the birthdays and stuff like that, it's like I guess I started a year earlier than Texas, but I mean I lived longer in Texas though.
Where were you born?
Michigan.
Okay. I was playing my PS2 that my mom bought me.
Yeah. See, that is not a normal thing. Within the same year, so 1964, he finally went to prison for the first time. Mm-hmm. Burglaries, over a dozen of them. I think at this point it kind of got like low-key kind of federal, I think, with like the amount, but it doesn't really say. But he got prison time. He was 18 already. So he was sentenced to 12 4-year terms, basically. So he was supposed to be in prison for like a long time. He got paroled a little bit under a year later. So he was only in prison for like not even a year, maybe. Like a little bit under a year.
For 12 counts of burglary.
Well, when I was reading, it said 12 4-year terms.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know, but he was supposed to be in prison at least for a while,
Right.
but he was paroled within a few months. So he's out, he's free. At this point, he like hit his growth spurt, so he's 6'3", over 200 pounds,
Damn.
broad shoulders, like fucking oven mitt hands. Like he's a big fucking
Was he a
dude.
white guy?
Yeah, he was a big guy. He was just like
6'3", yeah.
6'3". Yeah, he can like a fucking, what is it, linebacker?
Not even. That's like a fucking Yeti.
After he got out, he walked like his shit don't stink. Like, yeah, I went to prison and I got out. Like, he thought he was like the big tough guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and so while he was in prison, he met this kid named Roy Dale Green. So some reports said that he was 17, some said 18, so he's around, 17, 18 years old. He was kind of just like infatuated by Kenneth. Like, oh, here's this cool older dude. He has so many stories about like his life's so crazy.
Just got out of prison too.
And Kenneth, he was like bragging like, oh yeah, I've like raped all these girls. Like, I fucking like killed girls. Like, he was bragging.
Which no guy would be impressed with that. I mean,
Green, he met them, like they met in prison, and he was an accomplice with the Broomstick Murders, but they only knew each other for a month at that time.
I keep forgetting about the broom.
But,
It's like the broom.
see, what do you think so far? How the broom?
I have no idea. I mean, like, I don't think that.
It's
Was it in his house? Like I said, I have brooms.
no, it wasn't in a house at all.
You see, that's weird. That's weird.
That's why you're just like, where the fuck did this broom come from?
Right.
But he was like infatuated. He was just like, he looked up to him basically. Kind of saw him like as like a big brother. He was so obviously he was also 2 years younger than him. Kenneth was about like 20-ish, I think, around this age or around this time. Like I said, he would always brag about what he would do to these girls. And Green, I'm just gonna say his last name because it's easier. Green, he was like, he believed him, but at the same time he was like, no, he really wouldn't do this though. Like, you're kind of like in the back of your mind, you're just like, no, he has to be lying. So in order to prove like, no, I did do this stuff, so Green lived with his mom. Of course, he was 2, fresh out of jail, 17, 18 years old. So they were at his mom's house when Kenneth pinned down a girl, and he squirted the deep heat ointment in her vagina.
Deep heat ointment?
Yeah, that's kind of like icy hot. Like, he put icy hot in this girl's vagina to prove, like, no, I do this stuff.
How the fuck does that prove anything?
That you're a fucking sicko?
Well, yeah, but I just don't get it.
I don't get it either. Oh, and then according to Roy, Kenneth told him one time, killing a woman is like killing a chicken. They both squawk.
They both squawk. I've never heard that word before. No, I've never heard squawk.
But still, killing a woman is like killing a chicken. Like, really, bitch?
I've seen a chicken being killed.
I have never seen it. I don't want to.
It's fucked up. My grandma, she's from a small ranch, right? So she grabbed the chicken and
see, there you go.
I walked the fuck out of there, dude. She was in the backyard.
I was like, I can't do this.
No, dude.
But still, it's just like, the fuck?
Women.
It's like you're not making, like, it's like you're not eating some weird meat and you're just like, oh, this tastes like chicken. Like, no.
What?
Yeah. Like how when sometimes, like, people, like, they'll eat something and they're like, oh, this tastes like chicken. And
Right.
it's just like, why? No, this is not that same scenario.
Oh, okay. So you think that's what he was trying to, like...
Probably.
Oh, I want to know what happened with that girl with the icy hot.
That's it. That's all we know.
He just did that? Did he
I
kill
get
her?
no.
No?
As far as I know, he didn't. So he probably just like fucking dumped her out somewhere after that. But I'm just like, why would you do that? And after that, why was he just like, oh my god? I would have been like, oh my god, the fuck?
Yeah, anybody would.
Yeah, no. Instead, he continued hanging out with him. So now we're gonna go into the Broomstick Murders. Ooh.
Let's do it.
Green worked with Kenneth at his dad's office, whatever. They were out driving again. They went to go visit their friends. Some places said they went to go like around like the Fort Worth area to visit like friends and stuff like that. They went to, Green wanted to see a girl he knew from church. Oh, and also the car they were driving is now the Dodge Charger that his mom bought him after he got out of prison.
Wow.
Yeah, he got out of prison early, and his mom was like, "Oh my God, honey, you got out of early. Here's a car." Yeah, so that's the car they were driving. Now they're just driving around again, looking for drugs, looking for sex, just looking around. And apparently, Green said that McDuff, he would like go around and like point at girls and be like, "I want her," or "I'm gonna take that one." So that's basically what he was doing.
Like, it's a fucking ice cream shop. Dude.
Yeah, like he was like looking for a girl. Like that's what he said he was doing. That's when he saw the 3 victims. It was 17-year-old Robert Brand, 16-year-old Edna Louise Sullivan, and 15-year-old Mark Dunham. Edna was Robert, like the older guys. Dunman. Is Dunman.
Oh, okay, it's not. I'm thinking of
Dunman? I don't know. I'm sorry.
I'm thinking of something else.
So Edna was Robert's girlfriend, and Mark was Robert's cousin. So the 3 of them were just like hanging out, kind of like it said a baseball field, like a parking lot. So they were just like outside, like talking in front of the car, you know, just chit-chatting. I guess they were like all hanging out that day. They went to like the movies, and now they're all just like kind of catching up and stuff like that.
The kids are, right?
The kids are.
Okay.
And then that's when Green and Kenneth and McDuff, they drove by, and he's like, "That's the girl I want." So they pull up. Kenneth takes out his .38 pistol from underneath his seat and puts it in his like jacket. And then the closer that he walks up to them, he threatens the kids, and he's just like, get into the trunk now, blah, 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 like pointing the gun at them. So all 3 kids get into Robert's car, that the one that they were all standing outside of, which was a Ford. So all 3 of them got inside the trunk, terrified as hell. Kenneth started driving the Ford, and Green was following them in the Charger. They drove off to like this remote location, like, you know, like the back roads, like dirt roads and all that stuff. They drove for a while. Once they parked, Kenneth told Green, quote, "They gotta go look at my face. I have to kill him now." So once they got to the first location, he opened up the trunk. Kenneth opened up the Ford's trunk. He told Edna, I want the young lady out," grabbed her by her arm, and basically like threw her in his car where Green was at. The boys are like, you know, they're sobbing, they're begging for their lives. They're like, "Please don't shoot us, please," you know, like any normal person would. You know, so they're crying, they're begging for their lives.
Nah, I'm lying. I would cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would cry.
Yeah,
38 special or 3?
It is a .38 pistol. So
I mean, any pistol.
He did not care about these cries. He wanted them dead. He said that he needed to knock them off. So he brings the gun up. To him, it's chest level, but for the boys, it's like, you know, head level. He shoots Robert, the boyfriend. He shoots him twice. Both of them got shot in the face. Robert twice in the face. Mark, he shot him 3 times, and then with Mark, because he was only 15, he was a younger one, McDuff like grabbed him by his hair, pulled his head up, and shot him again, just to make sure. And it's just like, really, after the other, you know, few shots? No.
Well, people didn't notice, like, the gunshots.
Well, they were like in the middle of nowhere. So then he just like threw their bodies back into the car, and they left with Edna crying and, you know, like freaking the fuck out in his trunk now. So they leave, and they go to a second location now. Again, trigger warning, just to let y'all know now. So that is where Green and McDuff both basically gang rape her a few times. Green said that the only thing that Edna even said throughout this whole time, like besides like obviously crying and all that stuff, was she just like cried, "I think you ripped something." And yeah, and so Green said that they kind of like went back and forth, and then so Green just finished his like last time, and then I guess like she pulled him, and she was like, "Please don't let him hurt me again." And he like was just like, what the fuck? And that's when Kenneth did it one more time, and then he decided that he had to kill her. She saw their faces. He was done. He got what he needed. So it was time to do that.
She was 15, right?
She was 16. 16. Mark was 15. She was only 16. So when he decided, like, okay, now it's time to kill her, he told Green, like, hey, give me something to strangle her with. So Green gave him his belt, and I guess he changed his mind, didn't like the belt. So that's when he grabbed a broomstick to kill her. So what he did was he got it like this on her head and basically snapped her neck. Yeah.
Wow,
so that is why he's called the Broomstick Murderer.
Where did he get the broomstick from?
That's what I mean. Where the fuck did this broomstick even come from?
That's weird.
That's what it makes me think, like, I wonder if it was premeditated, you know? Like, I don't know, like
he wanted to be called that?
No, but, like, maybe I don't know, because it's just, like, where the fuck did the broomstick come from? Like, it's not like, oh, they just got off of work. It's like they work in concrete, and I doubt he has, like, supplies in the back.
Well, yeah, that's where it came from then.
But I have no idea. But that's what he did. They dumped her body, and they left. What was it? So Green did describe a little bit more on what happened.
I'm not laughing at this.
I know.
The fucking dog is, like, rolling around like an idiot. Look at her when she's biting the air.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry, I wasn't laughing. That's horrible.
It is horrible.
Okay.
But so Green, you guys can like read it if you really want to know. There's a couple things in here that if you really want to know, you can read it on your own. He like really did describe though like the whole event, but I'm not really gonna get into that. So they left her body, and then to get rid of the evidence, they like drove a couple more, threw away all of the like bloody clothes, washed their hands. And then they went to go get snacks at the gas station and had a little sleepover at Green's mom's house. Just, like girly things. Like nothing ever happened. So, depending on where you read this from, the story does kind of change a little bit. Basically, Green turned himself in. Some places said that it was a couple days. Some said it was like the very next day that he heard the murders like on the radio, and he already felt guilty, but like he heard it on the radio, and he was like, oh my God, I gotta like turn myself in. Right. One place said that he was like confining in like a friend's mom, and she was like, you need to turn yourself in. But regardless of what happened, he turned himself in to the police, and as a plea bargain, basically he agreed to testify against Kenneth and like tell them everything that happened. The trial happened. He was ultimately found guilty, but of course during this, Kenneth's mom, she would say like, oh no, he's innocent. My baby boy's innocent. He wouldn't do something like this. This is too good for him to do. And stuff like that. Like she knew her son was innocent. So she hired like some like not hot, like I guess like super like cool, like expensive lawyer.
Are you thinking of a hot lawyer?
No, I was gonna say hot shot. There you go. I was gonna say this hotshot lawyer, and then I forgot. So yeah, so like this hotshot lawyer from Waco actually, to obviously prove his innocence. They were trying to say that like, oh no, it was really Green who did all this. Like Kenneth was the one that was like told what to do, and it's just like yeah. And if you look at pictures of Roy Green, he looks like a regular kid. Like.
We had some technical difficulties.
If the angles are different, don't worry about it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, so if you look at pictures of Roy Green, he just looks like a normal guy. He cannot take over, or he cannot make McDuff do anything, to be honest with you. McDuff can probably, like, snap him like a twig. Yeah, he can most likely snap him like a twig. Actually, since we're here, I'm going to show you what he looks like.
Oh, man, he's tall, though.
Yeah, he's tall, and then...
He's not really strong.
Like, he just looks like a normal kid. And this was McDuff at the time.
Man.
He went to jail, and...
Green, right?
No. Wait, actually, yes. So Green did go to jail for a few years, actually. Again, depending on where you read this from, some sources say he served like 10 plus years. Some say he only served like 5 years. So he did serve time at the end of the day. You know, he did. And then he got like paroled and like house arrest and all other stuff. And so the sheriff of Green's hometown, his name is Larry Pamplin, and he's known Green his whole entire life, and he has said, quote, he stays at the old family home and spends most of his days at his sister's beer joint called the Town Door. To say he's messed up is a real understatement. So you can tell that Green, like, he wasn't the mastermind, because like he's pretty, like, still pretty traumatized, and he's still alive to this day. So like,
no shit.
Yeah, so he's still alive.
Oh, wow.
So that's why it's like, you know, I think he's still alive, at least from what I was reading, like the article and stuff I was getting from, he is still alive.
He's probably what, like, because he was 15 at 69.
He was 17.
17, so that's what I'm not a mathematician. Right?
No, but
So that's
you know,
that's
he's
40 years. That's 57. Dude, he's not even that old.
40 years.
Yes, from 60 to oh no, that's 50 years. 67. I'm not a mathematician. I said that in the beginning.
He's like, you know, he's getting old. He's old.
67? He can still...
Ish, probably. You know, like, probably like 60s, 70s. Yeah, no, he's still alive. But you can tell, though, that he, you know, he didn't want to do this.
I mean, come on.
But, I mean, at least
I've never done things that I didn't want to do like that.
I don't know. I mean, you know, he was young and dumb, though, too. I'm not trying to justify anything, but you can tell, though, like, Green, like, he feels that guilt. Like, he's not just like,
Right.
whatever with it. Like, you can, obviously, you know, he has a heart, somewhat. And he's reformed, for the most part, because he's, like, never gotten in trouble again. He kind of keeps his head down, keeps to himself. So it's just, like, you know, you can tell, like, he truly, like, he fucked up.
Right.
It was a fucked up time, and he's hopefully, you know, better and grown and learned from it.
It was at that moment that he knew.
He fucked up. But while in jail, so now we're moving back to Kenneth. He was sentenced to death by the electric chair, and while he was in jail, he got his date twice, in 69 and also in 1970. Both times something happened to where they were kind of like put on pause, so he obviously didn't die. And then in 1972, Texas put up a suspension on the death penalty. So all death penalties were moved to life, either with or without parole. Kenneth got with parole, which is ridiculous within itself that he even would have a chance at parole. But also during this time, he was moved to a different unit in the jail that he was in. And the, like, officers said that he, and I quote, "We considered McDuff to be extremely dangerous and a high escape risk." Sorry. So he, you know, he was not a modeled prisoner at all, but he also figured out how to work the system in a way. Like, he may not have, like, done stuff, but he, again, was a bully. He kind of ruled his little, like, area or whatever. He was, like, the guy and stuff like that. So he didn't really break any rules to where time got added, but he was just a fucking asshole still. Okay. So no matter what, he just always wanted to be the guy on top. So then in 1979, McDuff, his mom, got him a new lawyer. Now they're working kind of at that angle where it was Green. I think I got it mixed up. So in 1977 is when they were trying to say that it was all Green's fault instead of the original trial, I mean. But still, they're just saying, like, you know, it's him. But also during this time, over the next 10 years or so, his story was getting more and more attention from Hollywood. They wanted to make it into movies and TV shows because it was just so crazy and stuff like that. And Hollywood wanted to, you know, capitalize on this, of course. And so that's when they also started Justice for McDuff, Inc.
No shit.
Yep. So
they thought he was innocent?
They really thought he was innocent. I mean, I'm pretty sure they did not think he was, but, you know, if you're getting paid enough, his lawyer was like, nah, this guy's innocent. I don't know, but they were pretty adamant that he was, you know, he was just like, no, he was framed. So much so that his lawyer made a 26-page story on why McDuff is innocent. It is available online if you want to read it. I'm not doing that. That is way too much, and also I don't care enough. But yeah, like I said, I'm not giving any attention to that. But yeah.
Sorry for the technical difficulty.
So after that, he ended up applying for parole twice. He got it on the third time, but on his first time, he tried to bribe an official with $10,000. He kind of told him, like, hey, if you, like, let me go free, you can get $10,000 in your wallet. The official said no.
Good job for him.
Said no, and he was just like, fuck you, not doing that. You get 2 years added onto your sentence now. So, but he did end up getting out though, also because of overcrowding as well. So he was out. When he got out, sheriffs actually were calling each other to kind of gossip about it. They were saying like, did you hear what they did? And the other guy was like, no, what'd he do? He's the other guy. He's like, do you know what they did?
No.
You didn't hear it.
I didn't.
They fucking paroled Kenneth McDuff.
What?
Are they fucking crazy?
Yes.
That's how it basically went. They were gossiping with each other like, bro, you cannot fucking believe what I...
So they knew how fucked up he was.
They knew, yeah. And they were
and
also...
They still let him out.
They still let him out. And then they were also saying that within his hometown of Rosebud, where he went back, that it was, you know, it's a city that was pretty safe. That, like, you know, parents would let their kids go places. They would, like, walk around, walk to their grandma's or whatever. People started locking their doors, like double locking their doors, started putting like a chair underneath like the knob. They wouldn't just walk around freely anymore. And yeah, he was out. He was again walking around like his shit don't stink. He was the new tough guy in town.
P.S. All shit stinks.
But not girls though. We don't poop. So girls don't poop, so I don't know. I mean, apparently guys, like, y'all stink, but we don't. So I don't know. That's your problem. We are going to split this actually into 2 parts. This was the first part. This was the main murders and everything like that. Yeah, if you want to stick around for part 2, catch us next week.
Yes.
It'll be coming out. We're going to be talking about his life after, because it does not get any better.
I thought it was like, oh, you know,
One and done.
That's it.
No. He got out 2 times. He's gotten out on parole, actually. And I don't know. He's a piece of shit. He will forever be a piece of shit.
I just don't understand how, let's just say that he does get reformed, right? For the sake of the argument.
Yeah.
And why would you still let him out? He fucking raped a 16-year-old and killed her.
And
then killed 2 other people.
There's just no reason to be let out for that kind of crime.
Right.
It's not even a crime. It's just like,
makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah. Check out the merch. Check out the merch, dude.
Yes.
For part 2.
Check out the merch. All the links are down below, but also like on our Instagrams. It is in the bio. Definitely check us out. Leave comments and all that stuff, like about what you guys want to see next. We have some pretty cool things coming. A lot of fun stories. Well, not fun, but like cool stories.
It's cool and macabre.
Decent stories. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let us know. But we'll see you guys in part 2. Bye.